Okay, welcome back to FPL Power 5. How we all doing? We're through week 1. How did it go for everybody? Probably a mixed bag from a lot of us. But what we're going to do today, we're going to do our Power 5 top 5 things I learned in week 1. I learned a lot. I felt like my team had a good chance of putting up a big number, and it did not. My forwards were Vardy, Jesus, Kane. My midfield was Kulu, Madison, Martinelli, Mount. My back line was Darty, and I had Castagna, but that one pointer by Conte really didn't help me out. Robertson, Trippier. I mean, I felt like I had a nice setup. It did not turn out that well. Below 60 points, just in the mid 50 range. But what we're going to do today, so we're going to jump right in with the top 5 things that I learned in week 1. Rhys James, number 5. Rhys James showed up. Rhys James got a clean sheet. Rhys James looked attacking. I'm not going to split him. Just going to say everything I just said, Chilwell did also. I think Chilwell came off a little early, but the way they played as Azpilicueta, Cavalli, and Thiago Silva, I feel like James is a midfielder. Like, I absolutely feel like he is playing as a midfielder more so because then Chilwell was on the other side. It's still take your pick with those two, but first of all, they both started, which kind of blew my mind. They both got a clean sheet. Like, how long have we been waiting for Chilwell and James to both get clean sheets in the same match, but, go through this, at least play 60 and get an attacking return? James didn't, but Chilwell did. So the number 5 thing I learned this week is Rhys James is potentially this year, maybe he's going to get all the starts we expected, and he's going to be I'm going to say he's going to be a top 4 defender as of the rest of the season. He is 6. Get him in if you want. But man, Rhys James there at the 5 slot. Jumping into the 4 spot, Darwin Nunez. Anybody who's like he could be higher, yeah, you're right. This is where he's sitting right now. He looked amazing. He's done it twice now, Community Shield. He did it in week 1 against Fulham. He's come in off the bench, gotten goals and assists. He seems to have a gear that not quite everybody has. As far as acceleration, he seems aggressive. I mean, predatory almost. Almost like dare I say old school Vardy, because I still love Vardy, but just that. I mean, the speed to burn, like there's not a question about it. He knows what he wants to do. He's in and around the box. He's looking to cause problems. He's electric. Darwin Nunez is actually electric. He's our number 4, and he's 9, which is actually below Vardy and only a million more than Jesus. I still think Jesus has a lot of good stuff to come, but man, I mean, this Salah, Diaz, Nunez, you get some Jota in there, Trent and Robo. I think this could be really, really special, especially if that Jota injury lingers, which at this point it feels like it might. I mean, we might be looking now at our Holland and Nunez, Darwin Nunez, going to be and Kane's going to be there. But are these two dudes going to be fighting it out not only for a golden boot as the top forwards, top scorers, and for both of their teams in Liverpool and Man City? It just made this season extremely interesting. Not like it already wasn't, but I'm going to tell you what, kids. Darwin Nunez at the 4. He's electric. Anybody who goes and gets him, go for it. If Jota's not in again this week and Darwin scores again, I don't see how you're going to keep him out of the lineup. At that point, I think Jota becomes the 4th man, and maybe all 4 of them, Salah, Diaz, Jota, Nunez, play. Firmino's out. Firmino becomes FA Cup fodder or whatever you want to call it, and I think he's around the same price as Nunez. There's no way you'd go for him over. Nunez and Jota are the same price too, so very interesting. Very interesting. This dude Darwin is lights out. So I love it. Now jumping up to the 3 spot, feeling some people might think that Darwin could be here, but I'm going Kulusevski. If you've seen my other videos, I love him, man. I kind of, this is the way I picture him. You can pick a few different teams who have done this in the National Football League. The one that stands out to me is the St. Louis Rams years ago. It was Isaac Bruce, Torrey Holt, and Azkamir Kahim. These 3 receivers. These guys, you weren't doing anything with Holt and Isaac Bruce. They were going to get their catches or whatever, but basically what I'm getting at is the 3rd receiver. You can't double team everybody. Kulusevski is that 3rd receiver in my scenario here. Son and Kane, you got to give them attention. And then this dude, man, first of all, his goal was awesome. His left foot is filthy. He knows what he wants to do. Dare I say it? He's a mini Salah, little Salah-esque. Little Ian Robin out on that left. Like, he's curling that left foot in. The keeper didn't even move as soon as it left his foot. He had an assist also. I mean, I love him. I love him. And I think the big thing that we learned here, Richarlison's not challenging him as a player. Maybe that spot, maybe for some, mop up minutes, maybe in certain competitions. I think Kulu is nailed as nailed can get. I have no fear going forward with him. As of right now, he is now my number one 8.0 midfielder. I like it going forward. Weeks 4, 5, and 6 are delicious for the Spurs fixtures. I will have Kane and Kulu and Darty or Perisic, one or the other. I'm going into that 3-game stretch. It's first midweek game of the season. That's why. I don't think Kane's going to rest. Holland might, right? Maybe Holland will get his first rest of the season there. Or maybe he'll come on. He'll probably still come on if he didn't start. By no means am I implying he won't. I think it's still early. He's young. He can run for days. But Kulusevski, man, like, in my opinion, he locked up that, nailed down that starting spot. I'm not worried about it now. Spurs are flying. Perisic and Darty haven't really gotten into the mix. So Sessegnon was pretty nice too. But as far as now in those mids with Saka, Madison, Bow, and Foden's, Kulu just made the strongest case, in my opinion, that he's the top 8 midfielder, maybe the top midfielder, and he's definitely in my side, so I'm keeping him going forward. Number 2, I'm actually going Zinchenko. Here's what I learned about Zinchenko and Arsenal right now. He's going to be their Cancelo, in my opinion. Tierney came back in, right to the side, so you've got Gabriel, you've got Tierney. I mean, their defense looks good. Like they've been saying, because, Zinchenko plays midfield for his national team. This is what I think the plan is. First of all, he's very active at that set-piece corner that he sent the header over on to get the assist for the goal. Clearly planned. He knew exactly what he was doing. He executed. It was beautiful. We know this guy can play, right? Like he's great. If he's going to be playing more in the midfield and becoming more of an attacking threat, and he's going to be picking up those clean sheets, he might be one of the first must-owns. At 5.0, I don't know how you can avoid it. Yes, I mean, it's the defenders seem loaded right now. But as far as, let's just say, okay, and Trippier played very well also as far as a 5.0 defender. But Zinchenko, for the way he's going to probably roam and be utilized in that Arsenal offense, and the Arsenal offense looked good, right? Like Saka, Martinelli, Jesus, they're flying. So yeah, I mean, that's what I got right there. Zinchenko at the 2 spot, I really, really like it. I think Arsenal has a lot of clean sheets coming for them. So as basically a midfielder playing defense, you're picking up the clean sheet. Possible bonus, because if he's going to be involved like Cancelo, that's how Cancelo gets so much bonus, right? He's passing, he's in the mix. And let's jump right into number 1. There's no question about it. Goodness gracious, Erling Haaland. Talk about living up to expectations. This guy was ridiculous. I think it was everything maybe City fans have been hoping for since Aguero left. And even those last few years when Aguero was there. It can all be said with that through ball that KDB fed him with. I mean, that's exactly what we've wanted. KDB hasn't had anybody to latch on to those, in my opinion, in a few years with the types of players that we've had. I mean, Haaland, from the jump, like this guy was in control, ready to make an impact, and he did. So, I mean, what I learned is that Erling Haaland should be in your FPL team now. If you missed it, he already has a price rise. I missed it. I went Vardy, Haaland, Jesus. Vardy, had to book him out of there. I saved $2 million just in case. I was hoping Vardy might, give me a little something. But so now I'm Kane, Haaland, Jesus, and I'm feeling very good about it because I could always now go Kane down to potentially Nunez, and we'll see what happens. But so back to Haaland. Okay, that penalty, first of all, he drew it with authority. He knew what he was doing. He beat the keeper to it with his leg, got the ball away from him, drew the foul, and did not hesitate to pick that thing up. He was taking the penalty. No one even thought about going near him. And then there was 2 whistles. There was one, and as soon as the ref blew it, it was like, hey, you can put the ball down now. I guess Haaland was standing right at the spot. Whistle, like within a millisecond, boom, ball on the ground, 2-3 steps back. This guy means absolute business. Didn't take his eye off the ball or where it was going. I mean, I'm not saying he was looking where it was going, but he knew what he was going to do. About 20 seconds pass, ref puts the whistle to his lips. I feel like Haaland saw that. In an instant when the whistle blew, 2-3 huge strides and just a delicious strike to the keeper's lower right, Haaland's lower left, with some English on it. some English. I mean, he almost like he was like banking it, like to do something in pool. Like caught, I think, a piece of the post. If not, it hit the net with some curl. No one was stopping that unless you were 7 foot tall and you guessed the right way and you have the reflexes of Allen Iverson to get down. That was absolute money. It was filthy. I loved it. And then the through ball from KDB. What impressed me the most about this, Holland bent his shoulder with 2 strides to like the right to make sure he stays onside. The ball, obviously it's a KDB through ball, was ridiculous. And what Holland, so instead of, if the ball's here and Holland was here, instead of staying on that side, his left footer, it's almost like he decelerated to just step over to the other side, did not get behind the ball or lose pace with the ball, got onto that left foot, again, knew exactly what he was doing, bottom left-hand corner, turned away, like Larry Bird in that final 3-point shot contest in 86. Like, the Bird shoots it, turns, puts the one up, about 2 seconds later, the ball goes through the net. I don't even think Holland watched it. I think he knew it. Maybe he did. Maybe I'm just getting too excited. But it was exceptional. He even came off in the 70th minute. You know, maybe Pep was like, all right, you know, you like to see those guys stay on and try and get that hat trick. But he made his point. He made his presence felt throughout FPL. He made his presence felt throughout the Premier League. It's on. Not to go back to Nunez, but Holland and Nunez, talk about some forward wood. I mean, have our forwards come back to life? Maybe. Find out in the newest forward segment we're going to do here in the next few days. So, but that's what we got. So the top 5 things I learned this week is Rhys James looks like he could finally fulfill that potential we all want. Number 4, Darwin Nunez. He's young, he's exciting, he's electric, he's in an awesome team with lots of firepower. He's probably going to be a top 5 scorer if he gets these minutes. He looks amazing. Number 3, Kulusevski is my guy at the 8th spot. I think he's on pace to be a top 5 midfielder. I love him. I'm probably, hyping that up a little bit. I love him. Number 2, Zinchenko. I just really think he's going to be Arsenal's Cancelo. I don't think you can underestimate that. And number 1, Erling Haaland. No shock there. So that's what we got. That's our FPL Power 5, top 5 things I learned in week 1. Hope you liked it. Thanks so much for watching. If you feel like giving a like, go for it. If you disliked it, I can handle it. If you want to leave a comment, I dig it. Even if it's a dirty comment, go for it. Don't care. Subscribe at your own risk, but look for a few subscribers. We'll throw it out there. Anyways, have a great day, everybody. Thanks for watching.